What's going on, guys, and welcome to Formula 7 Realistic. I'm just going to do a quick sound check. How are we all? What's going on, Jay? Until I get the sound of the cars, I won't really know what the sound's like. I see a bit of moving the kicks out, but welcome everybody that's watching. This is the Realistic division. So realistic performance, all the drivers, you will see it out on track. I will do a quick sound check once I can hear the cars and just see what that sounds like. Right, there we go. Seems good. Sam the man, the driver from the US of A, will be the first driver on track. So Sam the man just getting some heat into them tyres, getting ready to go. Getting ready to start his flying lap. So let's ride on board with the Haas driver of Sam the Man for the first lap here in Saudi Arabia of Q1. Down in towards turn 1 we go. And just slamming on that brake over the curb at turn 1. In towards turn 2 we go. And then round into turn 3. You've got a little bit of a straight here, and then you've got that kink there. Very easy to hit that and go flying off into the billboards of turn 4, in towards turn 5, 6, and then into 7 and 8, and then out of turn 9 we go. Just a bit of a slide through there as we go down 11 and 12, and then at the end of sector 1 we go in towards turn 13 at the left-handed hairpin. The Haas driver really close to the wall, and then uses the outside curve just to keep that pace flowing as he goes through there, through 14, 15 and 16. And then that DRS will kick it again. And look how close he is. He's on the absolute limit. DRS enabled as we go down turn 20 and 21. And then into 22 and 23. Yellow flag's already waving. It's a very unforgiving circuit here in Jeddah, especially under the lights. And down towards turn 27 we go for Sam the Man. What's he going to do? What is the benchmark? Is he going to be able to get out of Q1 in that Haas? Invite Crab Boys. Yeah, no problem, mate. He should have an invite already. So, Kim in the Williams. These drivers are the ones that are going to struggle to get through to Q1. Get out of Q1, should I say. Jay coming through sector 1, so it is going to be Kim, the South Korean driver in the Williams, coming round turn 13. And he's going to be the one that is going to try and get into Q2. Anything can happen. Sendro goes fastest in Q1. That will be him safe and secure in the papaya. And the Norwegian driver is safely through with a 127.2. And the thing is, anything can happen around Jeddah. I think it will be one of them circuits here tonight where the slower cars will be looking for an opportunity. Remember, ghosting isn't on. You've got you know, red flags, safety cars. Anything can happen if that one cock-up from the driver at the front causes that spin and there's a pile-up, anything can happen, and that's what makes it super exciting here tonight, especially for the realistic division. Kim with a 1:30.9. Jay is going to be next, the Canadian in the Kick Sauber, soon to be the Audi team. Into turn 27, a slight lock up there and a flick of the rears as he came out of there, just trying to hold on to the lime green of the Sauber to the line, and it's P3. He is in front of Kim in the Williams at the moment. That is huge. Here comes F1 Lexi in the other Haas. His teammate in the 129s. Can F1 Lexi replicate that as he comes out of turn 27 down to the line? F1 Lexi, a 129.2, 7 tenths quicker than his Haas teammate. Sam B in the Alpine is coming through next as well. He's just coming through turn 16 and 17, through turn 18, down the DRS straight for the Alpine. In towards turn 22 we go. And then that double dose of DRS will kick in again. And that rear wing is open. And the DRS is flashing for Sam B. Into turn 27. Oh, that looked like a little slight mistake through there. But Sam is just hoping to get into Q2. He might have the engine to do so. Sam B up to P5. He is in front of the Williams of Kim so far. I hope everybody at Silverstone has a good week and weekend. So XD Paco in the V-Carb. Wow, he is on the absolute limit. Let's stay on board with the V-Carb. Wow. Oh, he is. Look at that. He is slipping and sliding everywhere here, XD Paco. Purple sector 1. If you do want to see the standings, there they are at the moment. It is TTL Nick that is the championship leader after round 1, after last week. How you doing, Podge? That's how they stand.
Thank you guys. My time.
Thank you so much, mate. And XD Paco goes up to P2 in the RB. Hodge, 15 months and a subscription at tier 1. Thank you so much, mate. You know how much it means to us all. So really appreciate it. So XD Paco in the RB. Cryptic Salt in the other RB goes up to P4. The RBs look like they've got pace. What about Dennis in the Red Bull? TTL Nick, the championship leader, is out here in Jeddah in qualifying. Merckx has to just dodge that Scuderia that's in the middle of the track. Wow. TTL Nick, the championship leader after round 1, is out. And that is your first driver out in Q1, and it is the Ferrari. The Maranello-based team already missing a driver. And Dennis in the Red Bull coming through sector 2. That is, I said anything can happen when you're racing around Jeddah. And we're seeing that already. Anything can happen. The drivers did well to avoid him though. Wright's in the Scuderia coming through sector 1. You've got Dennis coming through sector 3 in the Red Bull. The drivers that are looking to get through: Kim, Sam B, Jay, Sam the Man. Remember, only 3 drivers will go out now. in Q1 with that retirement of TTL Nick and Dennis to the line. I don't know what happened with Dennis, he backed out. Vanford is coming through sector 2, there is a few drivers coming through, that is Lewis! And Lewis went down to P16, he came to the line, oh he was just starting his flying lap. Merckx is on an out lap as well. Wright is coming through turn 23 at the moment. What is this damage? It's reduced. So yeah, TTL Nick just saying he only tapped the wall when it sent him out, but it is on reduced damage. It is realistic, but we feel like reduced damage is more realistic than actual being realistic in the game. That's the reason we use that. Oh, look how close Maximock is to that. He's all over the place in that Mercedes. Merckx on a lap, Lewis and Ghost. Lewis coming through sector 2 now as well, but he has invalidated it. Dennis is going again down towards turn 27, and this is a proper lap for the Red Bull driver. He knows that his championship rival, the championship leader, is out in Q1, and perfect opportunity. Dennis goes up to P2. It is going to be Lewis who's invalidated it. Goes coming through sector 2. Here comes Merckx in towards turn 27. The Sauber driver competing with his teammate and the Alpine and the Williams of Kim. Here comes Merckx down towards the line. Goes the Sauber driver up to P12 and just in front of his teammate. And that could be the difference between one Sauber going through and one Sauber going out. Maximock in the Mercedes coming down towards turn 23. Jay is starting another lap here in Jeddah. We have 5 minutes to the end of Q1. We don't know the other 3 drivers that will be going out. All we do know is there is a Ferrari going out. Maximock in the Mercedes to the line. He goes up to P5 for Maximock. B right in P9. Merckx, Sam B and Kim all going to be looking to improve their lap times. Jay is down on his lap time, I think. No, he's just starting. Oh, and he's a bit shaky there, a little bit squirrely coming out of turn 11. And he's 100th down on his lap time at the moment for the Sauber driver, but it's not all his end all for the Canadian as he comes through the S's. There is a yellow flag. I think that is a Mercedes behind, just travelling a little bit slow. Jay needs to improve at the moment. He is eliminated in Q1. 5 minutes to go here in Saudi Arabia. What can Jay do? He needs to put it all on the line as he comes through turn 23. That DRS will kick in. That rear wing will open. As we ride back on board with him down towards turn 27. Is he going to be up or down on his lap time? XD Paco retires as well. Doesn't need to do any more. He's going to leave it to the other drivers to squabble over places. Jay to the line. Jay does improve. And he is just in front of his teammate of Merckx. And with 4 minutes to go, the Saubers have traded places once more here in Jeddah. And it is now Jay going through and Merckx going out. Kim has messed it up, invalidates his lap time. Lewis W in the Aston Martin. That will be another big name to go out if he doesn't set a lap. So F1 Lexi is only in P10, but he's retired. He thinks that'll be enough to get him through. So Lewis W, this is it for him. I don't think he'll have another opportunity, so he needs to get this right. We know how much Aston Martin have been struggling recently. But Ghost is right up there into P4. It says purple sector 1 for Lewis as well. So he's absolutely flying here, the British driver in the British car. And this is a phenomenal lap. Jay is out, so Jay is not going to be able to do any more. He cannot improve from this point. Merckx is back out for an outlap as well. But if Lewis does improve, which it looks like he's going to, it will be both Saubers into the bottom 5. But here comes Lewis W, round turn 24 and 25 it goes. The Aston Martin driver has been impeccable here on this flying lap. The Aston Martin driver in towards turn 27, a slight slip of the rears. But I don't think it'll cost him too much, and Lewis is going to do what he needed to do at the start of this Q1 session, and up to P7 he goes. That means Jay is your second driver to be eliminated. Sam B will be fighting it out with the other Sauber driver. Ghost in the Aston Martin retires. Merckx is getting ready, so is Sam B. They're all lining up now. Sam the man in the Haas is improving his 2 temps up. So Sam the man down towards turn 27 we go. All the other drivers, Ulster in the Williams watching on, Cryptic Salt in the RB. It looked like a really good lap. But you just see how much the drivers improved. And Sam the man to the line, stays P14. Merckx is on his lap. Let's go on board with the Sauber driver. Yeah, I know, Jay. Don't worry, you've still got the race. Take a breather, you've got around 20 minutes to chill out. Merckx in the other Sauber. Through to 4, 5 and 6 we go. And he's really at the limit here. You can see it from the car when you're on board with him. You can see how much he's pushing. 30 seconds of the Q1 session to go. And Merckx round turn 13 at the left-handed hairpin. And it's so you need the concentration levels around a circuit like Saudi Arabia are to the absolute maximum. You make one slight mistake or one lack of concentration and you are into the wall, and it's got to be like that for the whole part of the lap and then the whole race as well. It's so difficult and just draining, mentally draining. The checkered flag has waved, so we are down. Here comes Kim and Merckx. You've also got Ulster there as well. Ulster goes into the pit lane. I think he realises that he is safe. Merckx is going to be next. To the line. Could Merckx get through? In the Sauber, to the line, up to P16. He is out. So it's all on Kim. Sam B is also improving in the Alpine. So it's Kim. Kim is improving, but he's going to have to find at least a second. And it does look like both Saubers are going to go out here in Jeddah. And there's so much straight line speed throughout the circuit that it's very difficult for a car as slow as the Sauber to make up any time here. Here comes Kim, the South Korean driver in the Williams to the line. Stays P18. Sam B doesn't need to do any more. That is it for Q1, and it is both Saubers and a Ferrari out in Q1. Yeah, Merckx, I know it is, mate, I know. So, Senjo tops the Q1 session. Dennis in P2, Paco in P3, but it's the bottom 5 we're going to concentrate on. TTL Nick in the Ferrari, who crashes out, will start right at the back of this grid. Kim de Boom in the Williams will start in P18. Jay in the Sauber will start in P17. And his teammate will be alongside him of Merckx in the other Sauber. So both Saubers out in Q1. But the big talking point is the championship leader of TTL Nick out in Q1 in the Scuderia. Right, here we go. Oh, sorry, let me mute that. Yeah, very close, Viva. Just about McLaren, the quickest car by a mile. So we are into Q2. So let's jump on board with some of the drivers. It is going to be Sam B that sets the first lap. Yeah, literally, Liam. Backo's just on a different level, isn't he? If you want to see the standings for the drivers, Nick was the leader on 25 points after round 1. He's out in Q1. So he will be starting from the back of this grid, which is not good for him. So we are going to ride on board with Sambi. Cheers, Liam. So, yeah, it took me a little bit just to get the two right because that's around with it because it wouldn't let me do it. Obviously, it's quite difficult when you're not using a PC, like to play the actual game when you're going for a capture card and stuff. There's the constructor standing. So we are on board with Sam B in the Alpine. He threw it around the first sector there. That looked unbelievable. So, Sam is my king. Let's go, Sam B. What a guy. B right, Max bought the two Mercedes drivers into the 128s at the start of this Q2 session here in Jeddah. And then we've got Fanfinus in the Red Bull on an out lap. We've got Ghost in the Aston Martin also on a lap. We've got the McLaren of Senjo just starting his flyer. We've got Cryptic in the RB coming to the line. And Cryptic goes up to P3 and just in front of the Alpine of Sam B. Royka does invalidate it, and it's going to be XD Paco in the other RB who's going to be next to the line down towards turn 27 for the Dutch driver. So here comes XD Paco down to the line. This is going to be quick, and it is. It's a 1:27.7. He's 6/10 quicker than the Mercedes drivers. Dennis starts his flying lap. Then we do have a couple of drivers. Hats have finally got chainsaw white dot, which is really helpful. Sam B just moving out of the way, nicely done. So it is going to be F1 Lexi in towards turn 27. He got a little bit tight to the wall there, probably a little bit tighter than he wanted to be. Down towards the line goes the Haas driver and up to P4. He is in front of an RB and an Alpine, and that could be crucial come the end of this qualifying session. Lewis W and Ghost are going to be next. It's going to be Ghost first though in the Aston Martin. They started the season off strong and just dwindled away in real life. What about realistic? It's P2 for Ghost, and here comes Lewis next and goes P4 So they do look like they're going to go safely into Q3 at the moment. Senjo goes into the pit lane. Strategy is on his way out. We've got a Red Bull of Dennis. No, it's going to be the Red Bull of Fanfness. I don't even know who that is. I think that's an RB actually. They're very similar in colour. Royce is on another lap. The Ferrari driver who lost his teammate in Q1. And the Scuderia driver is going to have to do it on his own. So, Royce, and that was Strategy just starting his flying lap. We've got Dennis, the Belgian driver, up to P2. And that's a good lap. Fanfness, he's going to be next as well in the other Red Bull. And he's got purple sector 2 as the Haas driver just moves out of his way. And the Dutch driver coming round turn 25. In towards turn 27 for the Red Bull of Fanfness. A slight snap coming out of turn 27, and that would have cost him a lot of time there. And here comes Fanfness up to P3 and the two Red Bull drivers. But look at the pace of the RB of XD Paco. That is ridiculous. Strategy in the McLaren. We know he's got pace as a driver. He's now going to have one of the fastest engines on the grid in that orange papaya. And this is where he's got to put it all down on the line. Stop the count, says Liam. I'd be saying the same thing as well. 127.7 for XD Paco. He's on another level. B-Right and Maxi Block in the Mercedes. They're close, but they're around about where you'd expect of the Mercedes drivers to be. Here comes Strategy in that McLaren, and it's P2, and he will be safely through to Q3. So will XD Paco. Calls it a day here in Q2. We've got another Red Bull driver that's just going into the pit lane. We've got Sam the Man in the Haas going in towards turn 13 at the moment. But it's getting very tense out there at the moment. It is Royce in the Ferrari going out. So is Oster, Senjo in the McLaren, Sam the Man in the Haas, Sam B in the Alpine. But four of them drivers still yet to set lap times. So here comes Sam the Man in the Haas to the line, and he goes up to P11. That is not going to be good enough to get out of Q2 here. So just bear that in mind. And it is the McLaren of Senjo. Oh, a slight laggy there. His McLaren is not looking good. So that might be me, or it might be him, I'm not sure. So McLaren of TTL Senjo, the driver from Norway. Oh, look at that. Now that is how you drive a car. An F1 car through turn 16. And the DRS is kicked in. McLaren driver, purple sector 2. This could be the fastest time in this Q2 session. But when you're on the absolute limit, like Senjo is here, it's very, very easy to make a mistake. And he could find himself going out. But he's not made a mistake. And he's done really well. A little bit laggy, I don't know if that's me or him. But Senjo will probably top it. He's P2. He's behind the RB. That is incredible. Oster in the Williams. In towards turn 22 he goes. And the Williams driver will have his fingers crossed. And probably his toes at this point. Because he will be hoping for something special to get into Q3. The Williams driver of Oster comes out of turn 27. Down towards the line he goes. With a bit of help from that Duracell battery. And it's P10. He's done enough, but there is still a Ferrari behind that he will be watching anxiously. Sam B now in P14. He is improving, but is it going to be enough? If Sam B goes into the pit lane, he might just have enough on it. Roix in the Ferrari on an outlap. So is Cryptic Salt in the RB. F1 Lexi. Both Haas drivers going out at the minute. One RB is in P12. The other is at the top of the timing table here in Q2, which is incredible to see. So Sam B is going to get some fresh rubbers on and get back out on track. Some new shoes, as they would say. Here comes Roix in the Scuderia. Cryptic Salt in the RB will start his lap. Ulster is on the way in, so we'll ride on board with Cryptic Salt to see what he can do. Rides the curve a little bit more than he probably wanted to do there. So let's see what he can do. Sector he goes, out of turn 12 and then down towards turn 13. Max Lock in P7 knows that he's probably safe there. A 99% chance that he's safe. Near impossible that he's going to be eliminated from this point onwards. 2 minutes to go. Yeah, Adam's V-carb in P1 is crazy. Like the pace of XD Parkour is just madness. So through turns 16 and 17 we go. Ulster retires, so he's not going to be doing any more now. That is going to be it. He's going to be anxiously waiting for the results of this RB and the Ferrari behind. Here comes Cryptic Soul, and we'll see if he is improving. Down towards turn 27 for the Englishman, into the final corner, and this might just be enough to knock the Williams out. Here comes Cryptic Soul into the pit lane. That means Cryptic Salt will be out, so it's all on Roix, who's gone purple sector 2. Everybody will be hoping that he invalidates or he makes a mistake, but he won't do from here. And the Scuderia driver, with a minute left, will see the Williams of Ulster go out in Q2. In his very last chance as well. He was so close. B. Wright wants to be careful as well. He could potentially go out. You've got Sam the Man, Sam B, F1 Lex is still on laps. Here comes Roix in the Scuderia to the line, up to P7. B. Wright is now the driver at risk. It's all on F1 Lexi in the Haas. He knows 40 seconds left. He can just go for it. He's gone wide, but he's kept it valid, but he's backed out. Wow. F1 Lexi, you can see the frustration there. He will be kicking himself. So B. Wright can just wipe away the sweat now as he watches on for Sam the Man and Sam B in the Alpine and the Haas, but he's got a bit of a safety net. He's got a second to play with these two drivers. With F1 Lexi, it was only 4 attempts. So he will be a very relieved Mercedes driver to still be in Q3 here. And unless Sam the Man can find something, but he's down on his lap time in Q1. What about Sam B? The checkered flag has been waved as we move on to Q3. And it's all on Sam the Man and Sam B. One in the Haas, one in the Alpine. Sam B in the Alpine, potentially, if he puts a really good lap together, has got a second in the tank. But it'd have to really all come together now. Sam the Man is down 6 tenths on his lap time, and Sam B is a 10th down on his lap time. And it does look like B. Wright is going to make it for B. Wright. Put another lap time in. He went up to P4. He was never at risk. He was never wiping away the sweat. He knew he was safe. It's Lewis that is the driver at risk. Sam the Man and Sam B. It doesn't look like any of them are going to improve. Both Haas drivers will go out. The Alpine of Sam B, who made it into Q2, is a brilliant drive from the Alpine driver, but he just didn't have any extra power in that car to do anything about it, and he does stay P15. Very unfortunate, but what a Q2 session. Remember, you can follow us on TikTok at Formula 7 Racing. Find a lot of the clips and highlights from races. I've not been as active as I should do, really, but with things that have gone on personally and with work and stuff like that, it's very hard to keep up with doing a lot of clips. So this is your Q2. It's XD Paco that tops the list in the RB, which is crazy. Sendra and Strategy in the McLarens, B right in the Mercedes, and then the two Red Bulls. But at the back it's Sam B in the Alpine that goes out in P15. Sam the man in the Haas will be in front of him. Sorry guys. Cryptic Salt in the other RB in P13. F1 Lexi in the other Haas in P12. But Ulster in the Williams. What a lap and what a starting place on this grid in P11. So we are on to Q3 and then it is race time. Q3 is always really exciting and I can see it being extra exciting tonight. Better get a drink before this gets going. Who's going to be the first driver to show the hand? I can see movement. I think that might be a Red Bull garage. Yeah, it is a Red Bull garage. Right at the end of the pit lane. Remember, unsafe pit release is off because it's realistic, so being at the end of the garage will probably help the Red Bull team in the race if in the event of a safety car. So I think the Red Bull drivers will bear that in mind as well when if the safety car comes out. There's not really a chance for them to get muddled up in the middle of that pit lane being right at the end as well. So all of these things come into account when you're racing in a realistic performance division with realistic settings as well. So they'll definitely keep that in mind. So we are on board with Fanfness and he's going to be the first driver to settle that in Q3. I don't know why the microphone is a bit echoey, guys, but I will try and sort that out. I'm unsure why it does that. I will have a look into it. Remember, guys, we are live on Twitch, on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram and on Twitter. So any platform that you're interested in watching on, you can do. If you just flicking through TikTok, you can watch on there. If you're flicking through Reels on Instagram, you can watch on there. If you're tweeting, you can watch on there. You can watch wherever you guys want, because we are live on 5 platforms. I've turned the volume up, so hopefully that helps a little bit. So we are on board with Fanfness, and he's a first driver here in Saudi Arabia to set a lap. And down through turn 12, in towards the left-handed hairpin at turn 13. What can the Red Bull driver do? This is for pole position, for provisional pole. The Dutch driver, through the middle sector we go. And in towards turn 16 and 17. And the DRS will kick in. And the rear wing opens. And he is absolutely flying through turn 20 and 21. In towards 22. Look how he flies through there. Through turn 23 and 24. The DRS will kick in again. And Fanfness is on a flyer here down towards the left-hander at turn 27. Yeah, Strategy here, he's in the McLaren. Out of turn 27 for the Red Bull driver. To the line, here comes Fanfness for the benchmark in Q3. And it is a 1:27.6, the fastest lap of the evening so far. But I'm sure it won't be the last. Dennis is also on an out lap. We've got Mercedes driver of Maxi Block starting his lap. B Right's about to start his. We've got a McLaren there as well of Strategy. There is drivers already on laps. I think that is Lewis in the Aston Martin. Both Aston Martins, both Mercedes, both McLarens and both Red Bulls into Q3 here. We have lost the championship leader of TTL Nick in the Ferrari who went out in Q1. But here comes Lewis in the Aston Martin down towards the line here in Jeddah. And it's P2 provisionally at the moment. We do have a Ferrari starting his outlap as well. And that is going to be XD Paco, who has been quickest in Q2 with a 1:27.7. Can he improve any more in that RB? It's been an incredible performance to the line. And once again, a 1:27.7, which is incredible. Senjo is going to be next. He's invalidated it. So he's going to go for another lap. He's not happy with that. Ghost in the Aston Martin sees his teammate currently, provisionally, in P3. Can he beat him to the line? Out of turn 27, down the pit straight and up to P2. It's provisional front row for Ghost at the moment. Fanfurness on his way into the pit lane. It is going to be Dennis next, the Belgian driver. He hit the wall 3 times as well, Jay. That's madness. So here comes Dennis in the Red Bull to the line and up to P4. The Red Bull just doesn't have the pace at the moment. B Right takes it right off him. Maxibot goes into the pit lane. And here comes Strategy in the McLaren. Goes provisional pole here in Saudi Arabia. Strategy on top. What about Roix in the Ferrari? So the Red Bull of Dennis just struggling. We know he's a master at setups. And he's just finding 0.3 of a second separate the top 6 at the moment. Here comes Roix in the Ferrari at 1:27.9. 4 attempts separate the top 7. Senjo did have to go again. I think he's backed out again actually. He's not using any of his battery. So he Maxibot into the pit lane. And I cannot believe how close this session is. So Senjo will probably go into the pit lane, yeah, with 5 minutes to go. There's still a few drivers out on track, but none of them on a flying lap. So this is the 5-minute warning, and then it is race time. Formation lap is on. The drivers will get a chance to warm up their tyres. Remember, this is realistic performance. If you want to see the drivers' standings so far after round 1, they are down below now. It is TTL Nick in the Ferrari that's the championship leader. Lewis W is in second in the Aston Martin. And then XD Paco in the RB got a podium last week, so he currently sits P3 in the standings. Ghost in the Aston Martin, he's currently P4 in the standings. And then comes the Scotsman of Rocketman, but he is not racing today, but he was currently in P4. He won't be after this round of racing. Fanfurness in the Red Bull in P5, and then we've got Lexi in the Haas in P6, which is brilliant for him as he crashes into the billboard there. Strategy. Maxi Block in P8 as well, the Belgian driver, and then Oster in the Williams in P9 in the driver's standings. So all the drivers into the pit lane. Be right there with that 1 point in the driver's standing so far. So I can see the drivers just starting to chat with each other because strategy is going to play a major part in this Grand Prix this evening. The strategy between the drivers and the teamwork that comes with it into play. So one of the Mercedes is going to be first out, and it is Maxi Block. I can see that being a bit of a strategy here. So it looks like Maxi will go out. I can see B-Right probably coming out in around about 30 seconds time, and then you'll see maybe about a minute actually, you'll see B-Right maybe give him a slipstream down the back straight in sector 3, and then you'll see Maxibot probably reverse that and give the same to his teammate as well. So that's the reason that you're probably not seeing the two Mercedes come out at the same time, so that they can probably help each other out here in the final minutes of this qualifying session. I could be completely wrong, but that's what I think will happen. So Maximok still the only driver out on track. We do have an Aston Martin coming out now. That is Ghost. Still no movement in the garage at the moment. But the drivers will be looking at helping each other. Because pole position in Saudi Arabia is so crucial. And no, we've not seen any movement from the other Mercedes drivers. So there is going to be no teamwork for the AMGs. But it is XD Paco in the RB that is out. B-Right is coming out now. But he is not going to help his teammate. All the drivers diving out of the pit lane. And it is going to be Maxi Block on his lap. The drivers need to be careful coming out of the pit lane here. Maxi's gone very early. But he can get DSQ'd for parking outside of the pit lane. But we are on board with Maxi Block for his very final lap here in Q3. The Belgian driver. I forgot I'm not in a party. 1 second.
JC was on. History, Toronto, Canada. Quick check.
He was Oster. So Maxibot in towards turn 13 for the Mercedes. Every single driver on outlaps. Yellow flags waving as they all try and move out of the way. There is an Aston Martin just slowing down in sector 3. Is Maxi Block improving? Down, he's got a Red Bull just in front, sorry it's an RB just in front of him, just moving out of the way, a minute to go. Was that a slight mistake there from Maxi Block? In towards turn 22 we go. The Mercedes driver currently in P9, yet to set a lap time, but this is it, a minute left. The final minute of qualifying here in Saudi Arabia. Maxibot in towards turn 27. Out of turn 27 we go. DRS enabled. ERS is on. Down to the line goes Maxibot and up to P6. Right behind his teammate. Extremely close on time. It is going to be Ghost in the Aston Martin who's going to be next. So Maxibot could not improve, but he's got Dennis, Royce, Lewis and Senjo all to set lap times behind him. And I think Maxibot might be a bit worried about that lap time here. And the Mercedes, as they've been doing since round 1, just struggling with the pace. Remember, realistic performance, so you will feel like you are driving a real Mercedes F1 car compared to the rest of them. XD Paco is out. XD Paco has lost it. The Ferrari of Royce has crashed into him. Royce and Dennis with a huge collision. That is B-Right. Was he hindered as well? Did he manage to escape that? Dennis maybe even hindered as well. We've got a McLaren of Senjo coming through. The checkered flag has been waved. Senjo has invalidated it. There is drama at the end of this qualifying session. Unbelievable. XD Paco putting it all on the line. Ghost up to P2. Provisional front row of this grid. Fanfinus goes purple sector 2. He's got Lewis right behind him. I think a lot of drivers behind these guys would have been hindered by that qualifying of XD Paco on the very last flying lap for these drivers. But it is going to be Lewis next. Just a snap out of turn 27. Down the pit straight he goes towards the line. Can Lewis improve? Up to P6 goes Lewis and splits the Mercedes, and Fanfinus goes provisional pole in the Red Bull. Maxi Block giving his teammate a slipstream. He never got one himself, but being the teammate that Maxi Block is, gives one to Ben either way. Down towards the line goes the Mercedes, stays P5 with the exact same time as Lewis. Dennis will be next. Was he hindered? Was he not? We shall see. Dennis goes provisional pole. And it's all down to strategy now in the McLaren. Can he do it? Can he take pole? Strategy stays B3. And it is a Red Bull front row here in Jeddah. A Red Bull 1-2 in Saudi Arabia. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That is a Red Bull lockout. So there was drama. So at the end of qualifying, it is Dennis that takes pole position here in Saudi Arabia. Fanfitness will start on the front row of the grid to make it an all Red Bull lockout. Strategy on the second row of the grid in the McLaren alongside him, ghosting the Aston Martin in P4. The RB of XD Paco, after crashing out on his last flying lap, will start in P5 on the third row of the grid, and the Mercedes of B Right will start alongside him. On the exact same qualifying time, Lewis and the Aston Martin on the fourth row of the grid in P7, alongside him the Mercedes of Max Bock in P8. On the fifth row of the grid, it's the Ferrari of Roix who crashed into XD Paco, and Sendra and the McLaren who didn't set a lap. Complete your top 10. So formation lap is on. And all 19 drivers, T-Tail Nick will not be happy at the back of this grid. The championship leader after round one. Well, the Red Bull drivers, they did not look like they were going to get pole position, but they came out of nowhere to lock out the front row. And XD Paco in the RB crashing out at the end of qualifying. That was a big upset, but anything can happen, especially with realistic performance. Remember, ghosting is not on. Let's just have a look at the tyres the drivers have chose to use. And it is mediums all the way down, barring ghosting the Aston, Maxing the Mercedes, and both Sauber drivers opting for the same strategy and starting on the soft compounds. Wow. So very interesting from the drivers. So formation lap, and then we go racing. This is going to be a great start to this Grand Prix. As the drivers are just trying to heat up them tyres. There's a little bit of lag. Hopefully that doesn't impact the drivers too much, because it doesn't look great on stream, to be honest. Strategy is not wasting any time. He is not hanging around here. He wants to get to the grid and get his starting position. Just burning out them tyres, and he will get in position and look at the way that he's directing his car. And let's see what Dennis and Fanfitness do. Dennis pointing inwards slightly, Fanfitness straight on. XD Paco, B Right, we are gonna go racing. All the drivers getting into position. Cryptic, I think, completely missed that, did he? Oh, he got it, I think, actually. Two Sauber drivers. Kim in the Williams. Kim always points very far over. So here we go. This is it for round two here in Saudi Arabia for the Jeddah Grand Prix. And it's lights out and away we go. Strategy got an amazing start. So did Ghost in the Aston Martin. Down in towards turn 1. There's a collision there between a couple of the drivers. That's XD Paco who's losing places already. As B Ryan, the Mercedes goes through and XD Paco. That is B Ryan that's losing places. There's a little bit of lag between the drivers as they go down in towards turn 1. That is a huge collision between Sendro. Mercs is through. Sendro is round. Sam the Man Kim and Nick just watches on. XD Paco has gained a position off the track and gets a 10-second penalty at the start of this Grand Prix. It is lap 1 here in Jeddah, but look at the lag. That is not a good sign for the drivers. T-Tail Nick is through on Jay. Maybe Jay's got a bit of damage. He hasn't, but he's been overtaken by the Scuderia. Down 5 places is Sendro all over the back of Sam B in that Williams. The lag is crazy. So Sendro is through on Sam B and the McLaren driver through on the Alpine. If you are watching this, I do apologise about this. It doesn't look great at all, and it's not something that's usually the case for an F7 race. Here comes Maxibot on Fanfinis. Fanfinis down 2 places. Maxibot now up 4. And they go wheel to wheel through turn 27, the Mercedes and the Red Bull. Who's got the better exit? Out of turn 27, down the pit straight we go. Who's got the pace to come out in front? And it's Ghost as well, who's through on Strategy. Maxibot through on Fanfinis, but Fanfinis is going to have the inside line in towards turn 1. He leaves in the room. And remember, Maxi on them soft compound tyres, but he just cannot get past that Red Bull. And Fanfinis is giving it him right back, but just slots in behind him. And now he does have the Ferrari of Roix on his tail, who's also up 3 places. And XD Paco, who's down into P7 with that time penalty. He will not be happy with the start of this Grand Prix. Oster is into the pit lane already, but considering it's a street circuit like Saudi Arabia, it's a relatively clean start. Liam, that is a good point. That is a very good point, actually. Let me just check. Because I know that some of the kids have been using my PlayStation. So, right, let's turn that off. That is Sendro on Mercs. Sendro in the McLaren is through on the Sauber driver. And then we've got Roix on the back of Fanfinis. The Ferrari driver, DRS has kicked in. And he will try and go for the move. To the right he goes. In towards turn 27, not able to get through just yet, but he will try again. But it's hard, especially when you're having to break that DRS. But here comes Roix on Fanfinis. They are both chasing down Maxibot in front. Is he going to have enough time to make a move? Not this lap, he's not. Ghost on the back of Dennis, the Aston Martin driver, fighting for the lead of this Grand Prix. That is Sendro through on Cryptic Salt, the RB driver, just having to concede the position to the McLaren. Oster already into the pit lane, so it did come out with damage at the start of this race. We are on lap 3, no DNS, which is what you like to see. So Maxibot up to P4, but remember he is on soft compounds. And XD Paco with a 3-second time penalty. Wow. That is very early to get a penalty. So every single driver down to P11 is locked in that DRS range. So still nothing to separate them. And that is yellow flag, that is Mercs in the Sauber, that is round. And the driver's got to be careful. Here comes Jay and Kim. And Mercs is now back on the track, but Kim is through. Dennis is the leader, but Ghost is all over the back of him with that DRS. And going in towards turn 1, he will get another opportunity. Remember, Ghost on them soft compounds. I don't think Dennis will fight this too hard. Here comes Ghost. And Dennis burning that battery to stay in front. He knows how much it means for me. Oh, and he just slides through turn 1 there, Ghost. And that is Kim that is through on Mercs. No, Mercs is coming right back at the Williams driver. Side by side they go, and the Sauber, after that mistake, after that spin, is back through. T-Tail Nick in the Ferrari, the championship leader, through on Sam the Man in the Haas. So remember, Maxi Block and Ghost in P2 and P4 are both on the soft compounds. So strategies, look how close strategy is to that Aston Martin on lap 4. Can he get the move done as they go down towards turn 18? That DRS has kicked in, but the Aston Martin are also opening that rear wing into towards turn 22. That's a yellow flag, and that is Oster. That is slowed right down. T-Tail Nick is now through on the Alpine of Sam B. And Fanfners, look how close he is to Maximum, down towards turn 27. So many drivers battling out for positions. Strategy did spin. What happened there? It looked like he lost the car, but he has stayed in P7. He did lose a few places, but it looked like that could have ended in disaster for a lot of the drivers. Oh, they've got off track. That's Mercedes. That's Royce with a 3 second trying to get out of the way. That is Maxi blocking the Mercedes that is round. What happened to Maxi? He's now come out behind Cryptic Soul. So a little bit of argy-bargy between the drivers, and it is costing them dearly. Royce now up to P4 in that Ferrari. I know that some of the drivers had to avoid a collision there and had to go off track. So Ghost, remember, on them softs, so he's going for a completely different strategy to Dennis in front. Look at Lewis on the back of strategy. Strategy was in a really good position in that McLaren. I don't know what's happened to Senjo. We know he had that issue at the start. He started in P10 as well, though, didn't he? Just bear with me. Let me ask if anybody's downloading anything. I don't know why it's so bad, so I do apologise. Here comes B right on the back of Lewis. Is he going to make a lunge for it? No, he's just being a bit more patient in towards turn 1. He doesn't want to end in the same fate as what just happened to Max's lot. So the two Red Bull drivers who started in P1 and P2 are in P1 and P3 now. Sam the Man is through on Sam B, the Haas on the Alpine. Oh, the Haas has made a mistake there. Can the Alpine capitalise? He's going to go for it. He backs out. Good racing from Sam B. Knows that he doesn't want to go side by side through them chicanes. There's a Haas that's lost a little bit of time in front. Was that F1 Lexi? That is Jay, that is through on Kim, and the Sauber driver on the Williams. Here comes Fanfness. Look how close he is to Ghost. And he is going to go for the move. He is not hanging about, and Fanfness is back up to B2. Royce will see an opportunity start to open up as well. Through turn 22 goes the Ferrari and the Aston Martin. Remember, Ghost is on them soft compounds. And here comes the Ferrari of Royce for the overtake, but he's got that Red Bull in front of him as well in towards turn 27. Oh, there's a slight mistake, and the Aston Martin just slipping and sliding. And Royce goes through, so does XD Paco. Too wide in towards turn 1. That is Fanfness down the inside of Ghost. Ghost goes off wide and into the wall he goes. Strategy will look for a move. XD Paco up to P3 and into the podium places. Royce is now into P2. His Ferrari teammate won in Bahrain last week, and now he is battling for the lead here in Jeddah. Kim is into the pit lane, goes for a 3 second. Strategy will try and go around the outside of the Aston Martin in towards turn 13 they go. So are them softs, are they starting to struggle with them softs? A little bit of wheel banging between the two of them. Lewis watching on his teammate. He's just watching his teammate fight. I think Ghost might let his teammate through here. There's a huge lag. I do apologise if that's my internet. I don't know why that would be, but look at that. The Aston Martins are working together. And Ghost did let his teammate through. He tried to hold up the Mercedes, but wasn't successful with it. XD Paco is going to go for the move on right. And the RB driver now up to P2. Fanfness in towards turn 27 is now down to P4 but doesn't have any time penalties. He will now go for a move on right. The two Dutch drivers, one in a Ferrari, one in the Red Bull. He will try and go for the move on the RB as well. Makes a move and it's a double overtake for Fanfness. And the Red Bull driver back up to P2. Be right on strategy. Makes a move on the McLaren. He now has Lewis setting his sights. Royx is going to try and make a move on the RB. You do not want to go side by side through sector 1. Maximo into the pit lane he goes. Oh, the Ferrari's gone deep. The Ferrari's gone deep. Did he go deep? I don't know. So we are on lap 8, 17 to go. Jay with that 3-second time penalty. F1 Lexi and Senjo's round. TTL Nick needs to be careful, so does Sam B. But Senjo down to P12. He is struggling with that McLaren. So Senjo did spin it. And Jay is on the back of his teammate of Merckx. The two-star driver is yet to see a single DNF, so nothing has fallen into their favour yet. Kim at the back of this grid has pitted though. Here comes XD Paco. Francis will leave himself wide open. Out of turn 27 we go. And that is Cryptic Salt through on Lexi. And look at XD Paco now. He is going to go for the move on the sister car of the Red Bull. And back up to P2. Ghost is into the pit lane. Remember, he started on them softs. He's on a different strategy to the other drivers. And on to the hard compounds for the Aston Martin. So, this Ghost onto the Aston, oh, Jay speeding into the pit lane, and he calls it a day in the Sauber. Canadian driver, just not his day. So, Royx in the Ferrari, Fan finishes there. Dennis is now 2 seconds clear. He's been left on his own at the front. Yeah, Adam, we're all part of the Sam B fan club. Sam B up to P12 in the Alpine, just doing what he needs to do. XD Paco will try and catch up. That is Cryptic Salt on F1 Lexi. And the other RB is now up to P8 and from the Haas. The RB's having an amazing race here. That is Jay that's just come out of the pit lane and his car finally disappears. That is F1 Lexi, Cryptic Salt again. Has he gone a bit early there? Here comes Fanfness on XD Paco. Be right on Lewis. Lewis into the pit lane off their mediums. So it was only last lap that the Aston Martin of Ghost pitted off the softs, and Lewis a lap later has pitted off the mediums onto the hards. So both Aston Martins started on different tyres for a completely different strategy, and they've both gone onto the hard tyres with the undercut. That could be huge. So the Aston Martin garage going for a very different way of thinking in this race, and it could prove to be vital. Merckx goes speeding into the pit lane just like his teammate. That is Sam the man that is out. Both Aston Martin drivers have just pitted as well, and he's in the middle of the track. They need to be careful here. It's a VSC. How is it a VSC? That should be a full course safety car. His car is into the pit lane. It gives Ulster an opportunity to pit. Maximock is coming round. The Haas car has now been moved. Wow, the Haas driver, and it's only a VSC. the front runners will be hoping they can get into the pit lane, but I tell you who will be hoping they don't get into the pit lane, and that is the two Aston Martin drivers are hoping this VSC disappears quickly. They are hoping it's going to end anytime soon, because I tell you what, Dennis is very close to reaching this pit lane, and he will be trying to get there before this does end, and he is going to make it. And this is really bad for the Aston Martin drivers. The two Red Bulls are going to double stack. XD Paco is going for a move under the VSC into the pit lane. Wow, was that legal? We shall find out, but the drivers are double stacking. I think Fanfinis was slowing down to give himself enough time to double stack, but every single driver into the pit lane, and this is what I was talking about the carnage. The VSC is over. Lewis and Ghost need to put their foot down right now, and all the drivers are coming out. XD Paco will come out behind strategy. Where are the Aston Martin drivers? Here they come. Lewis is going to come through, so is Ghost as well, but they have been screwed by that VSC. The undercut is over for the Aston Martin drivers, and they've ended up in a worse position. They chanced it and went for the undercut, and it really has not paid off here. Sam B in the Alpine decided to stay out, and he's up to P6. Here comes XD Paco and strategy. That is Sendro in the McLaren that's round. He needs to be careful. We've got a lot of drivers coming round. Sendro from the front of this grid. He nearly takes out his teammate. Wow. There's so many drivers coming through, and Sendro just trying to be careful. Oh, God, you've got to feel for Sendro there. You've got to feel for him. Oh, Maxi, what? That is Merckx is coming round as well, and you've got to feel for Sendro. Sam B being overtaken by XD Paco, and Sam, you know, he's such a great driver. His race IQ is up there with some of the best, and he knows that is not his race, it's not his fight, and he will be concentrating on his own battle here, and that is to stay with these drivers for as long as possible on them older tyres, and then go for that fresh set near the end of this Grand Prix. And it's a great strategy from Sam. Here comes Fanfinis, then he's through. No, it's Roix that is through on Fanfinis. That is Sam B finally into the pit lane. So he will now go on to the hards to the end, I think. And that is Lexi on Sam B, strategy with a 3 second. So Sam will have the freshest tyres till the end. And on to the hards he goes. You've got to feel for the Aston Martin drivers at this point. So Cryptic Salt on the back of TTL. Nick is now up to P10. Remember, he used your championship lead. Oh, Sam B coming out of the pit lane, gets a 3 second. We've seen 2 DNS, 1 Haas, 1 Sauber. But I tell you what, hats off to all the drivers that have avoided crashing into anybody in this race so far. You know, especially with a couple of the slippers and sliders that we've seen. Especially with no ghosting. And Fanfinis just backing out on Roix there, the Red Bull driver on the Ferrari. Merckx with a 3 seconds. Here comes XD Paco on the back of strategy. B right in the Mercedes up to P4. Maximock in the Mercedes down to P12. Sendro just spun it, but he had to wait for the whole grid to go past because obviously Ghost is not on, so really unfortunate. So Fanfinis on the back of Roix. He is going to go for the move. And the 2 Dutch drivers once again squabbling for places. XD Paco is through on at the McLaren of strategy. And Roix still on the back of Fanfinis, but it is Dennis that is 4 seconds clear. Everything has worked out well for him. Yeah, Sendro, he didn't even manage to get a timing in Q3 in qualifying, really unfortunate. So he started P10, and then obviously he's just not had the best of luck in the race. Penalties, Jack, yeah. So 3 for Roix, 3 for Paco. Oh, Paco did have 10. So I wonder where that went. Oh, Dennis has left the session. Dennis has lagged out. Oh no, Dennis from the lead of this Grand Prix. Senjo, Sam B, 6 for Kim. Dennis is back in. Thank God he's only lost a second. So yellow flags away. Kim's out! Kim is out! That's a safety car! It's a full course safety car! Kim is out! He's lost it in sector 1. And it is a full safety car. Oh, and that's Fanfness into the pit lane. Dennis has stayed out. He's only 1.8 clear now. Dennis is going to get caught behind the safety car. I don't think he took control of his car quick enough. And this is really, really bad for Dennis. Oh, no, this is really bad for Dennis. Yep, he is now behind the safety car and every driver behind will pit. And this is it to the end of the race. The drivers will surely go on to the mediums now. The Aston Martins had to double stack, so Ghost will lose a lot of places. Oh, he needed a new front wing anyway. So that has helped him. But this is not good for some of these drivers. Remember, this is how the realistic drivers' standings do look at the minute after round 1. This is not good for Dennis. It actually couldn't have been any worse for him. Oh, Dennis is out. Dennis is actually just retired on track and left the session. Oh wow, this is not good for Red Bull. I know, Dennis, I'm really sorry about that, mate. This game. What is that? Why does the game just DNF you like that? Oh, you've got to feel for Dennis there. He was so far clear of the rest of the drivers as well. And it's ended up like this. So it is XD Paco that leads to Fanfness and then Roix. Oh, I can't believe that for Dennis. I need to put a rule into place there. If something like that happens, we maybe can do something about it, but it's not a rule we have in place. Ah, God. So, 10 laps to go. Safety car is out here in Jeddah. And we see Dennis retire. That leaves the RB of XD Paco in the lead. Yeah, Liam, that's what I'm saying. It could be a red flag argument, but there's just no rule in drivers that get retired under a safety car by the game being a red flag and then restarting the whole race for the rest of the grid for that one driver. Do you know what I mean? It's definitely a game issue. It's definitely something that we need to look into. If that's going to continue to happen, stuff like that, then yeah, we need to have a look into doing something about it. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So we'll see what we can do, because it's not fair that. I'm surprised that we didn't get a red flag anyway, because red flags are on, but we've not had a single one in the game yet, or in a league race. So, this is good for Ferrari in the Constructors' battle. They are leading to Aston Martin by 5 points. So, really good for them. If you do want to come and join, guys, if you're watching on Twitch, on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram or Twitter, you can come and join through any of the links in the profile. We have 400 drivers, we have 5 divisions, 3 that race every Sunday, 1 on a Monday and then realistic on a Wednesday. We have a division for every single driver, no matter what your pace is, so you can come and join. So yeah. So safety car is going to stay out for another lap, whilst the Sauber and the Williams just catch up at the back. Well, yeah, this has got very interesting. Fanfness and B. Wright, Lewis as well, without time penalties at the moment, they would be the podium sitters. Fanfness, B. Wright and Lewis. with 9 laps to go. Merckx is back into the pit lane. That could be a problem for the safety car. So the safety car is in at the end of this lap. I'm going to go racing again, so it is XD Paco that will lead the safety car restart. I thought he was going to go really early then, and he slowed right down into the corner. He's taking a really wide line. And off he goes. And he knows the pace of that Red Bull, and he needed to get a good start because it will chase him down quickly. 9 laps to go, and look at the Red Bull just burning that battery to try and get in front, just backs out at the moment. Strategies there. Cryptic Salt is going to try and go for a move on Ghost, doesn't get it done. Max Bock in the Mercedes is right back in the battle as well. Don't know what this flag is, but I can only apologise, and it won't happen again. I'll sort that out. I've got a feeling that even though my Ethernet cable is into the PlayStation, I've got a feeling that it's still wireless, it's not switched over. So here comes Ghost on Nick, the Aston Martin on the Ferrari. Should I apologise if anybody's trying to watch it and this is what you're having to watch. I can only apologise, it's not what it's usually like. The Aston Martin and the Ferrari side by side out of 2 for turn 13, and Ghost is not able to make the move this time on the Scuderia. Oh God. Thought that was a crash then. Fanfresh chasing down XD Paco, and he will try and go for the move. The Red Bull driver, he's got to be a bit patient though, and he is doing, but he's gone wide, and now the Ferrari is all over the back of him. What is going on? The Scuderia all over the rear of that Red Bull in front. And the DRS will now kick in. This is a good opportunity. That is Ostep through on Sam B. That is Maxibot and Cryptic. Cryptic's going to try and come back at Maxibot. This is where the drivers start to get desperate, and it all ends in tears. Always does in Jeddah. And the Mercedes driver backs out. B Right knows that he's on for a P2 here, as long as he stays patient and just stays with the drivers in front with 7 laps to go. And I think that's what he'll be thinking about in his head. Even if he thinks, well, if I get past Fanfresh, I've won the race. He'll be thinking about multiple things here in the Mercedes as well. He's a multiple race winner, a multiple champion as well. Oaks with that 3 second. It is Fanfresh that is on for the race victory here in round 2. Oh, Fanfresh is through on XD Paco. Oh, and now here comes Royx as well. That is Senjo that is thrown Cryptic Soul in towards turn 22. He is through. Sam B on the back of Ulster. He's got Merckx chasing him down. XD Paco is going to try and come back. He will have the DRS, and now the Red Bull has left himself wide open. But here comes Royx down the inside of the RB, and the Ferrari driver is going to move up to P2. They will have that DRS. But it is XD Paco with the straight line speed. The Ferrari surely has got to get in front of him now. But here comes XD Paco, and the Ferrari is going to try and cheeky move as well. But XD Paco and Fanfre's wheel to wheel through turn 1 and 2 they go. Goes to that 3 second. B Right just watching on, holding back. So is Lewis. B Right and Lewis are both on for podiums here. 6 laps to go. And like I keep saying, I can only apologise for the stream quality tonight. It's never like this. That is Senjo in the McLaren. Senjo is round. He's just got to wait for the traffic, and that is the second time this evening that the McLaren driver has lost it. And it's the reservist strategy that is outshining the full-time McLaren driver. Fanfre's is going to go for the move. Remember, XD Paco is on hard compounds. Fanfre's on the mediums is through. And Fanfre's is back into the lead. And look at the Aston Martin of Lewis on the back of B Right. And looking for an overtake as well. There goes Royx and XD Paco, and they are queuing up to take their chances on Fanfre's. And side by side goes XD Paco. Royx and the Ferrari is there. B Right is there. There's 4 tenths of a second separating the top 4 drivers. This is incredibly close. They're going to go 3 wide in towards turn 1. It is XD Paco round the outside of turn 1, down the inside of turn 2, back into the lead. But can Royx take it in the Ferrari? Royx, for the first time this evening, will be into the lead of the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix. Ghost on the back of Maxi Block, all over that rear diffuser. F1 Lexi and the Haas in the points as well. Oh, and down the inside goes Ghost there. Down the inside of Maxi Block. Wow, look at that. So remember, B Right knows he has to get past Fanfre's for this race win with 5 laps to go. Yeah, I don't know why the echo is like that. I really don't. I don't know how to sort it out. I don't know why it's echoey like that. I will try and see what I can do about it though. I'm just at home. I've got a really good mic as well. I just don't know why it's so echoey like that. Just going to try that. Oh, that might be it. Is that better? Yeah, I think I've sorted it. Right, okay. Let me know if that's okay for you guys. I've been trying to sort that for ages as well. Sorry. A bit quiet. What if I turn the game volume down? Like there. Is that better? Let me know. I appreciate your help, by the way. Yeah, good. Nice one, mate. So, Fanfre's 4 laps to go. Is your race leader here in Jeddah? It's Royx in P2. Merckx is getting past Ulster there. Does Ulster in the Williams have a problem? XD Paco in the RB, all over the back of that Ferrari in front. B Right has fell out of DRS range, and that has left the door open for Lewis, who is on for a P2 finish. If he gets past B Right, there's TTL Nick, who was the championship leader going into round 2. Down the inside goes the Mercedes on strategy, nearly takes him out. Now you've got the other Aston Martin, a Ghost all over the back of the Mercedes. Down the pit straight we go, and the Aston Martin is up to P8, Maxibot down to P9. Lewis and B Wright back in DRS range, which is great for Lewis because B Wright fell out of DRS. He was able to overtake B Wright, who fell out of DRS, and then able to get the position back. XD Packer with another 3 seconds. Just what the drivers want to see. And that is Ghost. Oh, Ghost has made a huge mistake. Off the track he goes. And Sam B. Oh, safety car. Why is there a safety car? Why is there a safety car on lap 22? I really don't know why a safety car has come out at the end of this Grand Prix. But this is really bad for Roix, for Paco, and for Strategy. They will lose every position now. This is awful for them. I don't know what has happened and what has caused a safety car right at the end of this Grand Prix. So let's have a look at penalties now, because this is going to be very interesting. 3 for Roix, 6 for Paco, 6 for Strategy. That means that Sam B could make up a few positions, but Maxi, Lexi, Cryptic, TTL, Nick, B-Rat and Lewis, Fanfinus. So at the moment, provisionally, it is Fanfinus that will win this race. Lewis will finish P2, B-Rat will finish P3. Strategy goes into the pit lane, he knows he's got a 6-second time penalty. So what's the strategy for Strategy now? He's got wing damage. So unfortunate for him. So unfortunate for the drivers here, because I don't know what has caused that safety car to come out. So it is Fanfinus that is your race leader with 2 laps to go. Yeah, I think you might be right there, Liam. I'm really sorry about the lag here tonight. I really don't know what's happened. I really don't. But yeah, let's have a look at the standings so we can have a look now. So it was TTL Nick that was leading to Lewis. So yeah, Lewis will be the championship leader, it looks like. So safety car will go in and we will have 2 laps. And guess what? The very last lap of this Grand Prix will have DRS. So I will make sure that we don't have this lag issue again in the race. But I do apologise to everybody trying to watch. So here we go. And Fanfinus has gone early. Roix will chase him down. Fanfinus does not want to get embroiled in this tussle now, knowing that it's for the lead of this Grand Prix. XD Paco. Roix and Paco. Lewis will try and go for a move as well. Maxibot through on TTL Nick. B-Wright is there, Roix down to P3. Lewis and B-Wright know they're on for podiums. And they're just sort of holding off at the moment. Senjo through on Merck. Senjo through on TTL Nick absolutely sends it on the Ferrari. And Sam B in the Alpine is into the points here. That is Maxibot that's off. Maxibot is round on lap 24. Roix not going for a move. Oh, Cryptic Salt's left the session and that has ended the session. Everybody's left. It's just kicked everybody out right at the end of this Grand Prix. But that will be it for the standings. That is... Oh my God. I've not left. I need to try and get these standings because... No, it's not going to show me. I'm not going to be able to get any time. Oh, it's kicked me. Can somebody invite me back? Can I get back in? Is it kicked me? Oh, it's a glitch because I've left. No way. I'm hoping if I can get back in, because I need all the data at the end of the race. If somebody can get all the data, all the lap times, all the tyres. Oh no, it's kicked. So it must be my internet. Oh, God's sake. Yeah, sorry guys. I'm really sorry about that. I'll message everybody. One second. Oh, I can't believe that. Whoa, that was going to be such a good ending to the race as well. Oh, I'm so annoyed. I've got a bad feeling that even though I've got the Ethernet cable on my PlayStation, I've got a feeling it's on Wi-Fi. Oh, it is on Wi-Fi. Even though the Ethernet's plugged in, it's on Wi-Fi. Oh, that was the problem. I didn't switch it over. I didn't switch it over to Ethernet. Sorry, guys. Oh, gutted. Absolutely gutted. That was the problem. Well done, fam. Please, can somebody screenshot that for me? And just send it me. Right, guys, I'm really sorry about that. Well done to all the drivers that did finish. Thank you to everybody for tuning in and watching the race. I'm really sorry that I didn't switch it over to Ethernet. That's why we had so many lag issues. So I'm really sorry about that. But I'll update the standings. Thank you all for watching. Remember, we'll be back Sunday for bronze, silver and gold at 10 AM, 12:30 PM and 7 PM. Make sure you tune in for that, as it's going to be huge. So yeah, thank you so much, and we'll shall we do I don't even know who won. I don't even know the standings or anything. I was going to do interviews, but I think we'll leave it because I don't even know what's happened. So yeah, sorry about that, guys, and I will see you Sunday.